Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to GavsWeatherVids Sunday Round-Up. So this could be your eclectic mix of this map for your Sunday afternoon viewing pleasure. We're going to be looking at things like solar activity, sea surface temperature anomalies, the QBO, the quasi-biennial oscillation, the AO, the NEO, and the weather next week to 10 days and beyond. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll talk you through everything that we're looking at for this video in a moment. We're going to start off with some pictures that have been sent through to us. So the first sort of 5 minutes or so of Sunday Roundup is set aside to show you pictures, so I'll get on with that for you very short. Just to say that the third autumn update has been released, so that's looking at June data this week. So yes, that video will be placed on the autumn updates page at GavsWeatherVids.com with a written summary, just going over everything that we discuss in the video, and I'll get that done tonight probably. We're going to be live streaming at 6 o'clock, so if you want to check in to the live stream, it'll be from 6 o'clock, and we'll see how we're all doing. And in that live stream, we're going to have a look at CAN-SIPs, the winter of 2020-21, the coming winter, and we'll probably have a look at some CFS-V2 data as well, I would have thought. Okay then, so let's get on with Sunday Roundup though. So this was sent through, I should have showed this last week, but I misplaced it. So this was sent through to us a couple of weeks ago by Lee McMullen, showing clouds on the 9th of May. Lee's asked us if we can identify these clouds. I've got my own view about what they are, but please let me know in the comments what you think these clouds are. So yeah, this was taken on the 9th of May. I think back when it was very, very dry, of course, an exceptionally dry May, and really sunny month as well. So let me know in the comments what you think those clouds are. I've got my own view about what they are, but I don't want to sort of give the game away. Let me know in the comments what you think those clouds are, and then I'll pass it on to Lee. Thank you to Lee for sending those through to us. Excuse me. This was sent through this week by Callum Turley, showing showers. I'm not sure where Callum is. Perhaps down in the southwest somewhere. But, of course, we did have some big showers around last weekend. This one sent through by Richard Trott, good friend Richard, up in Redcar. So, again, big showers up there in Redcar last weekend. Thunderstorms and very intense-looking clouds and proper thunder clouds. Nice capture of some lightning there, but Rich managed to take from Redcar. This one sent through by Neil Cutler to the comment box at GavsWeatherVids yesterday. Nice sunset view from Neil's back garden. Neil has a fantastic view. And we've got a few on our Discord, so if you want to join our Discord, you can post your weather pictures to the GavsWeatherVids Discord. This one sent through by R. It's near the Baltic Sea in Lithuania. Proper shower thundercloud there, brought some thunder to Lithuania back last weekend, I think. This one's sent through by Weatherman2345, showing a little bit of a funnel cloud there. Small tornado or funnel cloud in Aberdeenshire on the afternoon of the 29th of June. That's it, having some very, very big showers around over the past few days. Nice view sent through here by VXLKS. So I think this is from Ireland, possibly from Dublin. Very, very nice view there. Excuse me again. This one's sent through by Gusta R. Again, showing flooding in Lithuania. So obviously in the northeast of Europe has been some big showers and thunderstorms around. Those crops look pretty soggy, don't they? They could be ruined, I would have thought, if the water doesn't go down very, very quickly. Video there from Lithuania again. These ones are from Storm Chasers LT group on Facebook. showing a supercell. Not sure where they are, perhaps in, again, in Lithuania. So really big storm there, really big capture there from a Facebook group. Jeffers Craft sent this one through. This from California, of course. Very, very hot over there on the west coast. So a few days ago, a couple of days ago, baking hot sunshine over in California. Thank you to Jeffers Craft for sending that one through. And Shiran posted these this morning. Cool fresh start at Sedgley. I think it's probably brightened up compared to what it was earlier. Right? It's nice and sunny here in Northants now, but there was a little bit of blue in the sky in Sedgley earlier this morning. Thank you to Shiran for sending those through. And this one was sent through by R, again showing nice sort of dusky skies in Lithuania. Thank you so much to everybody for sending their pictures through to us. So if you would like to have your pictures featured within the first part of the Sunday Roundup, then you can email them to us at GavsWeatherVids@gmail.com. You can post them to our Discord server. The link is in the description with the video at YouTube. You can post them on the comment box at GavsWeatherVids.com, or you can share them with us on social media, our Facebook, Twitter pages. And of course, we can't show every single picture that we get through, so sent through, or else we'd have a video just for that. So we can only show a selection. But when we get the time and when we get the chance, we will show some of your weather pictures. Big thank you to everybody for sending those through. Right then, so this is how things are currently looking in terms of solar activity. So this is how solar disk looks on our side this day from solarham.net. We have actually got a little sunspot here. So yes, we've got a sunspot belonging to solar cycle number 25, I think. Solar activity, despite that, solar activity is at very low levels and is expected to remain at very low levels for the next 3 days at least. This is the GavsWeatherVids Solar Activity Tracker sent through by good friend James Ackrill, updated to the 5th of July. Yes, the orange line is depicting each individual day's worth of sunspot activity. So up until yesterday, we did have quite a protracted run again of spotlessness, no sunspots. You see the orange line just ticking up there right at the very end. That's that little sunspot that I just showed you. So we're at a very, very minimal level of solar activity, but we are getting occasional sunspots coming through. I think any time now we're going to get an announcement from NASA to tell us that we have started solar cycle number 25. I'm hoping we're going to get it soon so that we'll be able to do a solar Sunday before we begin winter updates in September. I'd like to do a solar Sunday sometime this summer, so either this month or next month. And you know, like the first solar Sunday of solar cycle 25, that would be quite good if we could do that. But we can only do it when we get the announcement from NASA to tell us that we are officially in solar cycle number 25. But yeah, very low level of sunspot activity. We're still at solar minimum, even if we've passed into the new solar cycle. We're still pretty much at solar minimum. And yeah, so you can see you get these protracted periods without any sunspots. And a few days, 1 or 2 days, do have some sunspots, but then we go very, very weak again. So yes, very low levels of solar activity at the moment. And the trend lines, you have a thick green and a thick red line. Again, they are at a very, very low level of solar activity also. So we remain at solar minimum. I think we'll probably have another 6 months, maybe another year of very low levels of solar activity, because I think the start of solar cycle 25 will be quite subdued again. I don't see us ramping up into a very active solar cycle very quickly. I suspect this will play out like the beginning of solar cycle number 24, where we have a very, very slow sort of move into the solar cycle. So yeah, I would expect we're going to keep minimal levels of solar activity going for the next few months anyway. We will have an announcement from NASA, I think, quite soon now to tell us that we have started solar cycle number 25. This sent through by good friend Richard Trott. This is showing the current stretch of spotlessness, which is actually actually 0 days, 0 days, because we had a sunspot yesterday. So for 2020 overall, though, we've had 139 days without any sunspots. That's 74% of the year. 2019 had 281 days of the entire calendar year without sunspots. That's 77% of the year. So we're sort of still at very, very deep. We're at very deep solar minimum at the moment. Of course, most days, the majority of days, don't have any sunspots compared to days that do have sunspots. That compares to the last solar minimum when 2008 had 73% of the year without sunspots, and 2009 had 71% of the year without sunspots. So we're on a par, really, maybe a little bit deeper actually with this solar minimum compared to the last solar minimum, which is why I'm thinking that the beginning of solar cycle number 25 is likely to be pretty slow and pretty weak. Big thank you to James and to Richard for sending that data through. This is how sea surface temperature anomalies were looking when we did last week's GavsWeatherVids Sunday Round-Up. So this is from the 26th, I should say, of June. So 3 areas of interest, of course. We've got the ENSO region just here, the Equatorial Pacific Ocean, got the North Pacific PR, and we've got the North Atlantic over there. So as I say, that's how the sea surface temperature anomalies were looking last week for last week's Sunday Round-Up. This is the very latest. So in the ENSO region, first of all, very little change there. So we've still got this colder than average area of sea surface temperature anomalies in the eastern part of the Equatorial Pacific Ocean. That is a signal for La Nina, albeit quite a weak La Nina. Excuse me again. That does stretch out into the central part of the Equatorial Pacific Ocean. But it has weakened actually compared to like a month or so ago. Just here, it's actually warmed up a little bit. Coldest anomalies to average now over towards the eastern part of the Equatorial Pacific. That does sort of tie back towards Chile as well. So that can sometimes be a signal for like a La Nina or an El Nino. Have warmer or colder average sea surface temperatures around here and may connect back to the Equatorial Pacific Ocean. But like weak eastern based La Nina at the moment, and some people are asking whether the unsettled summer that we've had so far is down to this. I don't think so. I don't think this is strong enough yet. This La Nina signal, I don't think it's strong enough really yet to be having an impact on the wider sort of northern hemispheric circulation. So I doubt the unsettled weather that we've had for this summer so far in the UK and across northern Europe, I doubt that is really related to what's going on with this slowed, well, quite quick development, but to quite a weak La Nina type signal. Further north, so again, let's have a look at the North Pacific last week. So where are we on the tabs? So we're just there. So that's how things looked last week in the northern part of the Pacific Ocean, just here. Let's have a look at the latest. So that's it. So the latest in terms of the Northern Pacific, very warm just here, a little bit cooler over towards the east coast of Canada and North America, a little bit cooler through here as well. There's some suggestion that this might be the start of going into the cold phase of the PDO. I would think it would need to get quite a bit colder than that before we'd be able to say that we're going into the cold phase of the PDO. But certainly has cooled a little bit around the shores of Canada and America, I think. Over in the North Atlantic, again, that's how things looked in the North Atlantic last week. This is how things look this week. So very little change there, really. In the tropical Atlantic, it remains warmer than average. So the tropical Atlantic continues to be, the tropical Atlantic continues to be prime, really. The ocean is prime for a big tropical storm and hurricane season. Whether we actually get to one will depend on how much dust and whatnot that we bring out of, or partly depend on how much dust and whatnot that we bring out of Africa. But certainly, as far as the ocean is concerned, that is primed for quite an active season, I think. Going further north, we're warming up around the eastern coast of America, just here, and up to southern parts of Greenland as well. I mean, it's colder here to the west of the UK and to Ireland too. Overall, the Atlantic does look quite warm this year. The Atlantic looks warmer than it has done for a little while, I think. It's also warmer than average up there in the Norwegian Sea as well. So, yeah, it's quite warm up there in the Norwegian Sea also. So talking of the tropics and tropical storms, we have actually got a couple of disturbance areas. So let's have a look at those in the Atlantic. So we've got this yellow X just here, just in the just off the Gulf Coast of the United States. That's disturbance 1 with a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. This is from National Hurricane Centre, of course. They're saying with this one, disorganised cloudiness and showers over the far northern Gulf of Mexico are associated with a nearly stationary surface trough. Some slight development of this system is possible before the trough moves onshore along the northeastern Gulf Coast on Monday. The system is then forecast to move northeastward and emerge offshore off the Carolinas on Wednesday, where environmental conditions are expected to be more conducive for development. So for the next 48 hours, just a 10% chance of this forming a tropical storm. But in the next 5 days, a 30% chance. So it looks like this trough is going to do something a bit like that, moving in that sort of direction, perhaps reaching the Carolinas, then moving out into the tropical Atlantic. And when it gets to around here, off the Carolinas, then it might develop into a storm. We've also got 5 just here. This is Tropical Depression 5, giving maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour with a central pressure of 1,008 millibars. If we click on 5, we can see that this is forecast to become a tropical storm over the next day or so. So the current position of this Tropical Depression 5 is just here, but by sort of later today, it is predicted to forecast to become a tropical storm, moves sort of northward into the northern part of the Atlantic, and goes post-tropical as we move into Monday and Tuesday. So that looks like going to be a short-lived tropical storm. Moving back to the ENSO region, this is how the Southern Oscillation is currently looking. Remember, the SOI is just an index that's reflecting the atmospheric state in the South Pacific. It's not driving anything in its own terms, just tells what the atmosphere is doing. And when the SOI is in its negative phase, then the atmospheric setup will be reflective of El Nino. When the SOI is in its positive phase, atmospheric setup will be reflective of La Nina. So back into June, we did have some quite intense negativity of the SOI. So like around the 18th of June, we went down to minus 30 with the SOI. 19th of June went down to minus 32. 20th of June went down to minus 33. Really, really negative with the SOI. That's a strong sort of El Nino type atmospheric setup. More recent days have tended to be more positive though. So the atmosphere has, so past sort of week or so, has been more reflective of La Nina. So 29th of June at plus 4, 30th of June at plus 7, 1st of July at plus 10, 2nd of July at plus 14, 3rd of July at plus 11. These are positive numbers, and the atmospheric setup then would have been reflective of the La Nina type setup in the South Pacific. Again, we're measuring air pressures between Darwin and Tahiti with these. These are preliminary, by the way, these SOI numbers, but they don't tend to be changed that much by Queensland government. So the latest is about the 1st of July is at minus 4, so that's a little bit El Nino-esque, and the 5th of July at minus 0.62, that's kind of ENSO neutral. I suppose. The 30-day SOI average has lifted up a little bit over the past week. So last week it was down here, quite negative at around minus 9, but now we're up to around minus 5. So the SOI 30-day average is lifting up very, very slightly, or has lifted up very, very slightly over the past week or so. As far as the CFSV2, that is still forecasting that you have a weak La Nina, as it has been doing consistently over the past few months in January. Current position is that we're just there, so we're on the cool side of ENSO neutral. The black dash eyes ensemble mean that's going down to around 1 degree below average. That's weak La Nina thresholds. So yeah, the CFS continues with its consistent forecast that we're going to have a weak landing through the second half of this year, and for the winter of 2020-21, that is likely to be a weak landing year winter. The QBO is in, so the quasi-biennial oscillation number is in for last month for June. So this from NOAA, it's showing every month's QBO number going back 1950s. So when we're negative, then we're in the easterly QBO, just here, for example. And up here, these negative numbers, that's the easterly phase of the QBO. When we're positive with the numbers, that's the westerly phase of the quasi-biennial oscillation. Remember, this is an index that's reflecting the strength of the zone of westerlies, essentially. So when you're in a westerly QBO, you power up the zone of westerlies, particularly in winter. When you're in an easterly QBO, you weaken the zone of westerlies, particularly in the winter. So an easterly QBO can give an increased chance of a colder winter, but it's not quite that straightforward, because there are many easterly QBO winters that have actually been mild winters in Northern Europe. Never a guarantee for a cold winter for Northern Europe and for the UK. Anyway, we should be going into the easterly phase of the QBO, so we should be seeing the easterly QBO powering up. It has been struggling, as we've been talking about in the Sunday Round-Ups over the past few weeks and the past month or two. This is 2020 just here. The first month, January 2020, go down to minus 2.51. That's the beginning of the easterly QBO. Very gradually, that gets a little bit stronger into the spring, reaches minus 5.03 in April. So you're struggling to go into easterly QBO, but still negative. But then we go through to May, and that goes to minus 4.86. So May is actually slightly less negative than April, and it's happened again for June. June's number comes in at minus 2.78, still just about easterly, still just about in the easterly QBO. But this is a real struggle now to get this easterly QBO going. It could be a failure of the easterly QBO. It could be we're going to see another failure of the easterly QBO as we did in 2016. It's probably still a little bit early to say that definitively, though. We might see the easterly QBO coming back and powering up, but definitely this is a real struggle now to get the easterly QBO going. We did have one example back in 1988 where something very similar happened. Look at this year of 1988 just here. So we begin 1988 in the westerly QBO. Then through the summer of 1988, we start to go into the easterly phase of the QBO, but look how it struggles so much through the second half of 1988 with these just very slightly negative numbers, and some of the months are less negative than the previous month. So for example, there we have minus 2.29, but that one is only minus 1.53, and that one is virtually back to the westerly QBO, just minus 0.84. And it wasn't until, and this went on into 1989 as well, went on for many months, and it wasn't until the second half of 1989 that all of a sudden the easterly QBO really powers up and gets going, and that takes into the beginning of 1990. Of course, that's very mild winter, 89-90, so it just goes to prove that even if you're in an easterly QBO, it doesn't guarantee you're going to get a cold winter. But we might see the easterly QBO powering up, but I think there's quite a bit of concern about what's going on at the moment with this easterly QBO, given what happened in 2016, when of course we did have the failure of the easterly QBO. The QBO should be very regular, should be pulse-like, constantly oscillating between the westerly and easterly phases. What happened in 2016, as far as we know, up to that point, had never happened before. But then we've only been recording and registering the QBO since the 1950s, so we've not got a big data set to go at with it. But in 2016, we did see the failure of the easterly QBO. It had a go at going into the easterly QBO, but failed, and then the westerly QBO powered up. So I think there's a lot of concern at the moment that we're seeing something similar with this easterly QBO again, but it is still a little bit early to be able to say that we are going to see a failure of the the ECQBO. This is from the University of Berlin. So the darker areas are the westerly QBO phases. These are the westerly QBO phases. The white areas are the easterly QBO phases. And so you can see we should be going into ECQBO. The white area is descending or trying to descend down, and so 2020, 2021, this should be an easterly QBO phase. But look what's happening up the top of the stratosphere, a little bit of westerly QBO up there. That's not all that uncommon, but just here in the tropospheric level, around 30 HPA, 30 to 50 HPA is like the troposphere, there we are also now beginning to see the westerly QBO reappearing. It looks very, very strange. So we've got the easterly QBO lower down, just here, and we've got the easterly QBO up here. We've got a little bit of westerly QBO up there, and then we've got the westerly QBO also around the troposphere, around 30 HPA. It looks very strange, and it, as I say, it could be that we're going to see a failure of the easterly QBO as we had just here. The easterly QBO is much more far gone than it ever was at 2016, but it's much more developed than it ever was in 2016. So I still have a feeling we might see the easterly QBO powering up, but the longer this goes on, and we see the re-emergence of the westerly QBO, the more the possibility grows that we are going to get an easterly QBO failure again. This is from NASA again. It's just another way of looking at the data where we're in the blue areas. We've got the blue areas, that's the easterly QBO. The sandy coloured areas is westerly QBO. So again, we should be seeing the easterly QBO descending very gracefully and naturally from the stratosphere through the troposphere to the low levels of the atmosphere. But what's actually happened is that westerly QBO has never quite gone from the troposphere, and it does look on this particularly, it does look as though westerly QBO is powering up around that 30 HPA level. If we zoom in, we can zoom in on that, so I mean going close. And yeah, it just looks like the westerly QBO is coming back, doesn't it? After being very raggedy around the troposphere through here, it looks like now it's beginning to properly start sort of re-emerging, and we do see it up in the top of the stratosphere up there as well. But that's not uncommon to get that, but it's what's happening in the troposphere that is a little bit unusual. So we shall continue to monitor it. The way this could go is that we might see the westerly QBO sort of indication just sort of fading away, and the easterly QBO takes over and powers up. Conversely, we might now be going into westerly QBO again, and we have a failure of the easterly QBO. Let me know in the comments what you think the QBO is going to be doing over the next few months. Are we going to get a failure of the easterly QBO? Is this a failure of the easterly QBO again as we had in 2016? We'll talk about it in the live stream at 6 o'clock, I'm quite sure. Arctic constellation observed and forecast looks like this. So I'm going to rattle through because this is turning into quite a long video, so I'll rattle through everything else very quickly. The AO is just an index that's reflecting the atmospheric state. So when it's positive, got low pressure over the Arctic. When it's negative, got high pressure blocking over the Arctic. We're around neutral with the Arctic oscillation at the moment. GFS ensembles are forecasting the AO to begin to move into a more negative phase as we head towards the middle part of July. So we might be seeing signs of northern blocking beginning to get going within the northern latitudes by the middle part of July. Northern blocking tends not to be a particularly good sign for summer. The NAO observed and forecast is very similar, again, just an index that's reflecting the atmospheric state, this time in the North Atlantic. So where we currently are with the NAO at the moment is around neutral again. So both the indexes are around neutral. GFS ensembles are forecasting the NAO to go negative as we go further on into July. So it looks like July could be a negative AO-NAO type month. That might be an indication quite a cool and unsettled month, but I think last July was negative with the AO and the NAO. Of course, that was a very hot month, had a very hot spell. So we should wait and see how that plays out. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks from for London, from Old West Central. So the red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average, and we are a little bit above average at the moment. We're going to go cooler though. though, over the next few days. Going to see a bit of a drop in the temperature. Then later in the week, temperature lifts up again and then falls away again by next weekend. In the more extended range, though, like mid-July, second half of the month, we may be seeing a bit of a warming trend beginning to appear then. Quite a lot of dry weather coming up. There is some precipitation for London around the 9th, 10th of July. Before that, it's pretty dry. And then after that, pretty dry as well. Some precipitation spikes very late on, but of course, that's extended range and unreliable. Temperature anomalies from the 5th through to the 13th of July are going to be colder than average, going to be cooler than average in the week ahead. Precipitation anomalies showing a north-south split from the 5th to the 13th of July, wet and average in the north, dry and average down in the south. This is how the current wind map is looking from earthnullschool.net. So we've got westerlies again today, quite a strong jet stream as well. Low pressure is sitting to the north of the country, and usually deep area of low pressure for the middle of summer, bringing quite a strong westerly flow. And we have got a pretty strong jet stream as well. There's the Azores high down there. That wants to ridge in this direction and bring us summer. But as long as low pressure continues to roll in with the jet stream, we will be keeping the Azores high out in the middle of the Atlantic. This is how the UK Met is looking for Wednesday. UK Met model looks like this Wednesday. A trough of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic. That could well bring some showers along with spells of rain to central and northern parts of the country. Still being quite unsound on Thursday too. And then by Friday, that trough gets out of the way and we pull in this northwesterly. And that will bring showers or longer spells of rain with it. By the time we get through to Saturday next week, though, we could just be seeing signs of the Azores high beginning to try and ridge towards us. If that's the beginning of things settling down, let's have a look at the GFS. So this is the GFS midnight run. The 6 o'clock run is updating as we're speaking, but I can't include it in today's video, unfortunately, because it's I've got to get the video recorded, and I can't hang around and wait for the 6Z to update. But this is what the midnight run was showing. And again, on Wednesday, we've got showers, particularly across the northern parts of the country with trough of low pressure. A little bit of a ridge in the south on Thursday. Should give us quite a warmish day there. In the north, it's more on south with this area of low pressure. By Friday, we'll bring in this northwesterly wind. That will bring cooler air and also heavy showers, longer spells of rain to many parts of the country. Next weekend, again, we just see the indications of this ridge starting to move in from off the Atlantic, possibly turning us dry. Probably will be quite cool next weekend, but perhaps turning a bit drier. And then the midnight run of the GFS actually starts to intensify this ridge of high pressure as we run up towards day 10. So by day 10, which is Wednesday the 15th of July, look at that, we are back under high pressure. Summer is back in business. 1020 millibar area of high pressure sitting over the country. That will bring a lot of dry and potentially much warmer and sunnier weather with it as well through the middle part of July. And then the midnight run of GFS really does turn into a high pressure fest with loads and loads of high pressure day after day as we go into the second half of the month, bringing in easterly winds, so it should be pretty warm. The air's coming in off the continent. Could be some thundery showers in the south, I suppose, but the main thing is that we're shifting to a much drier and a much warmer pattern there with the GFS midnight run. Maybe things are going to be a thunder there around certainly the 19th of July. That's a very long way out, of course, and perhaps turning a little bit more unsettled by the very end of the GFS run. But yes, but certainly around the middle of July, the midnight GFS is bringing summer back. So how the GM is looking. So again, showery and quite cool on Wednesday into the second half of the week. Again, remains quite showery, pretty cool. Next weekend is when the change begins to take place. The GM is also bringing in this ridge of high pressure, intensifying a ridge over the country to up to 1,030 millibars by next Sunday, the 12th of July. And then as going to the following week, yes, we go into a protracted period of high pressure. We're high and dry with high pressure returning and bringing a return of summer, turning dry and very warm there up to day 10, which is Wednesday the 15th of July with the GEM. And the ECMWF also looks like this. So again, Wednesday is cool and showery into next weekend. That's when the ridge begins to move in from the west. That ridge strengthens as we go through to Monday, 13th of July. We have a spell of dry and warm weather around the middle part of the month. By day 10, 15th of July, maybe just try to go a little bit more and set up to the northwest. Down in the south, though, that looks pretty warm, I think. And again, a lot of dry weather. So mid-July, today, anyway, model output is bringing summer back for the middle of July. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. So we're wet and windy in the north today, gale force winds and heavy rain. It's not very pleasant at all. Middle of the week will bring more rain through many parts of the country as well, and then showers into the second half of next week. Next weekend begins to go drier though, as that ridge of high pressure starts to take over. We lose the rain, it turns drier through next weekend and into the following week. Just a little bit of rain returning by daytime to the north and to the west, but in the south it's still dry and potentially very warm. We can't show you the options on the table within the ECM ensembles in this video because they've not updated the Icelandic Met Office yet. We will be able to bring you those in our live stream from 6 o'clock though. Finally, the CFS League 2, these are 500 millibar heights bringing down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 5th to the 11th of July. The coming week has low pressure to our north. It has high pressure to the south, and we bring in westerlies. It's driest in the south, it's most unsettled up in the north. By week 2, we're under high pressure. Look at this, it's the 12th to the 18th of July, with a big ridge sitting over top of the country, turning high and dry, and summer is back for the middle of the month, which CFS has been forecasting very, very consistently for several days now. Week 3 is the 19th to the 25th of July. Again, high pressure in control in this week 2. Should be another dry and pretty warm week. The high is shifting just a little bit to our west, so we might start to bring some cooler air in from the northwest, but still dry and still pleasantly warm. By week 4, which is the last week of July, is the 26th of July to 1st of August. Perhaps just seems to go a bit more unsettled. The high pressure becoming a mid-Atlantic ridge, trough of low pressure over northern Scandinavia, the jet stream perhaps starting to come back a little bit. So the closing days of July may be going a little bit cooler, a little bit more unsettled. And then lastly, this is how the CFS is forecasting August. So this is the CFS 700 millibar height anomaly for August 2020, showing below average heights just to the northwest of Scotland. So that's not a very good signal for August. That will bring in westerlies and will probably be quite cool and unsettled actually. No particular signal for the temperature anomaly for August. And no particular signal for the rainfall anomaly either, so they're very, very weak. But the overall 700 millibar height anomaly, to me, looks quite unsettled. There is a bit of a mid-Atlantic ridge just here. There's a trough just there. It doesn't look particularly great if you want to warm. And if you want a warm and dry August, that doesn't look particularly inspiring. But of course, it's only one run of the CFS, and it might look different tomorrow and whatnot. Okay, so that's Sunday Round today. Quite extended. We had a lot to talk about with the QBO. Please let me know in the comments what you think is going on with the QBO, and we will talk about it in the live stream at 6 o'clock as well. So yeah, we're going to be live at 6 and come back for the stream on YouTube. You have to go to YouTube if you want to get involved in the live chat, but I will share it across GavsWeatherVids social media platforms and on the website, of course, as well. Right, so that's going to be live stream from 6. We'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday afternoon, though, and for Sunday Roundup, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.